Coming up, police say they've arrested a serial burglar in eastern Kentucky.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A busy forecast returns to the region to end the work week. Showers and storms are likely tomorrow. Then we could see some snow. Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Hatter for the very latest on this first alert weather day. Evan.
That's right, Steve. We're already starting to see showers and even strong thunderstorms develop well off to our south and west, but it's that location we'll watch the storms develop first and then head into our region as we head throughout the next really 12 hours or so as we head towards really 12 hours from now toward midday tomorrow. That's when we're keeping an eye out to the west. A look outside right now, it's all quiet but rather dark, as you'd imagine, past 11 o'clock. 55 the current reading along Interstate 64 at Moorhead. It's still mild. This is more than 10 degrees warmer than we should be for daytime highs this time of year, and we are now 1 minute past 11 o'clock. Dew points continue to surge into the 50s as our warm front moved through earlier. Southerly winds helping us out there, 5 to 10 miles per hour, increasing tomorrow 10 to 20 at times. Level 1 severe weather risk for tomorrow. The marginal risk, we're quiet now, just a few clouds working in, but look off to the south and west, already seeing severe thunderstorms getting going in parts of Arkansas. So we're going to watch that area for development overnight as that low pressure continues to churn across the nation's midsection. Details on timing and when to expect flakes, it's in the forecast, coming up in a few minutes. Steve?
Right, Evan, thank you. A double burglary in Pikeville brought officers to the door of a man they say has a history of hurting businesses. WYMT's Buddy Forbes spoke to officers who consider the man they just arrested a serial burglar.
From fun and flicks to felonies.
When people call us for these burglaries, we don't just want to show up on scene, take notes and do a report. We want to solve it. Like the kids say, we want to put the bad guy in jail.
2 Pikeville businesses were burglarized this week when a man broke into Funtime Inflatables Saturday and pried his way into the Riverfield 10 Cinemas Monday.
We noticed very similar method of operation, and we were also able to obtain video footage evidence that linked the two together.
Officers say James Prater of Martin stole cash registers, broke into several arcade machines, and took items from the trampoline park before using the same car to make his way to the movie theater early Monday morning, where he stole more items and ripped a safe from the wall before loading it into his SUV.
He is what I would refer to almost as a serial burglar. We've dealt with situations like that numerous times in the past. And the burglaries, they don't stop until the case is solved.
Working with Kentucky State Police and the Floyd County Sheriff's Department, officers found the SUV and Prater, who they recognized from evidence discovered during the investigation, only to realize he has been arrested for similar crimes in the past.
This is not a victimless crime. These are local businesses. These are 2 local businesses. And he damaged those, and he stole from them, and he put hardship on them. And we wanted to make sure that they got justice for what was done.
Now, with the multi-agency teamwork and time put into the case, officers believe they may have stopped a spree in the making. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Lieutenant Chad Branham with the Pikeville PD says the burglaries are even more of a slap in the face to local businesses that are still working to recover from the pandemic. Prater is now in the Floyd County Detention Center. A Central Kentucky school worker was hurt during an after-school incident, and it led to an extensive police investigation. Police in Stanford say a school custodian accidentally shot himself around 11 o'clock last night, and police were called early this morning when someone noticed blood leading from a staff break room to the parking lot. School leaders say it was an isolated incident, and it took place hours before anyone else arrived at the school.
Search over campus, deemed campus safe for students to come to school today. Ended up being a normal day of school for students pretty much. I feel like just shortly after 8 o'clock, students were dismissed to their classroom.
Police say the staff member has a serious but non-life-threatening injury and an investigation is ongoing. School leaders say the custodian has resigned his position. One Eastern Kentucky school was evacuated this afternoon after an anonymous caller claimed to have a bomb at school. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more with the Martin County Sheriff's Office and the threat that was made at Martin County High School.
Around 12:30 on Wednesday afternoon, Martin County Dispatch received a hang-up call. Once dispatch called back, the caller said something shocking.
Someone just answered the phone and said something to the effect is, "I got your bomb," and hung up.
Soon after, dispatch triangulated the call and traced it to Martin County High School. Officers from the Martin County Sheriff's Office and Kentucky State Police immediately responded.
It was scary because it happened so quick that we just pulled the fire alarm and just went by our plan and got the students out of the building and just kind of let the police do their job. And they did a great job. They were here really quick.
The building was then cleared by a KSB bomb detection canine.
It took about an hour and a half to do a sweep of the school, and he cleared the school, and we were able to return staff back to the class.
But the investigation continued.
We're still trying to track the phones and all that and see where it came from, but there's not a whole lot that I can say at this time.
And Wednesday night, law enforcement found who made the dangerous call. In Martin County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
And officials confirmed tonight it was a student who made the threat. They were located and charged. Their name was not released. School leaders say it is safe to send your kids to school tomorrow. Questions have been raised recently about conditions at the Federal Correctional Institute in Manchester. We've received several messages about there being no power at the prison since late December and no water or heat at the facility. Now, we reached out to officials with the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and they tell us on December 24th of last year, FCI Manchester had a power outage to the main power supply. However, they say backup systems were in place and they worked properly. The facility stayed on backup power throughout the outage. They say hourly temperature checks were conducted to make sure temperatures stayed between 67 and 72 degrees. Officials say inmates had access to water and 3 meals per day. They expected the primary power source to be fixed by today. Signing off to help homeowners move forward following the flood. Perry County Judge Executive Scott Alexander met with local and state emergency management personnel to discuss buying back flood-impacted homes. As part of FEMA's Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, the Perry County Fiscal Court will buy flood-impacted properties from homeowners so they can relocate outside of the floodplain. Officials say this is a process that can take up to 3 years, but Perry County and state leaders were adamant about moving things along quicker.
All the other programs out there, and there's a lot of them that are good and they help, but they don't fix your issue. This is the closest program that FEMA offers that gets them headed back in the right direction with the pre-disaster worth of the home. And that's, I can't tell you how excited I am about that.
Judge Executive Scott Alexander says once the paperwork is processed in Frankfurt and sent back, they hope to start purchasing homes 2 to 4 weeks later. Kentucky Power is sharing payment programs to help customers manage bills and avoid future weather-related bill spikes. Kentucky Power customers who need help paying or managing their bills should first call the 24-hour customer service team. One option that can help customers avoid bill spikes is the average monthly payment plan. This plan averages out 12 months of your bill cost and allows you to pay approximately the same amount every month. People in Perry County were treated to a giveaway today thanks to Family Resource Centers. Perry County and Hazard Independent Schools Family Resource Centers put together the giveaway outside the old JCPenney. Organizers say the area had needs way before the flood hit.
Even though, the initial brunt of that is over, we still have needs, and we don't want to forget that, and we want to keep, providing for our community.
The giveaway lasted a couple of hours. People there told us it helped them cut down on their grocery bills. Apple Shop in Whitesburg is making progress during its recovery from the flood more than 5 months ago. But staff says with the amount of damage the building sustained, it will take years to get everything back to normal. Financial Director Darrell Roy says they still are asking for support from the community.
I think our ongoing needs are just community support. We want to, really tell our story as we move through this process, but it's not just our story. It's the story of the region and what happened on the day of the flood.
Royce says right now Appalshop's offices are in a temporary location and they are still working on the plans for where they will be located in the future. Jeff Beck, often described as the greatest rock and roll guitarist of all time, has died. A statement posted on social media says the 78-year-old contracted bacterial meningitis and died yesterday. Beck was born in Britain. He rose to fame in the 1960s when he replaced Eric Clapton in the Yardbirds. Beck was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992 as part of the Yardbirds and inducted again in 2009 as a solo artist. He received 8 Grammy Awards during his career. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a newly discovered comet will put on an amazing show for sky watchers in the next few weeks.
Plus, more rain is heading our way for tomorrow, even some strong storms. The latest on when we see those temperatures drop as well after this.